Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Hanover man captured after 8 years on the run dies in jail. A man who was captured by the Hanover police after eluding them for 8 years has died while in jail. According to sources, 53-year-old Eric Legendary Clark died on Wednesday. There are unconfirmed reports that he was involved in an altercation with other prisoners. Clark was taken into custody last week Tuesday. He had been in the parish most wanted list in connection with a murder committed in the rural community of Cash Hill, Patty Hill in the parish in 2014. Despite living in the same era, Clark had managed to elude the police on numerous occasions. While on the lam, he was also said to have been a threat to a woman in the area. Solid Agency attorney demands Popcorn retract defamatory statements. Issa Buchanan, the attorney at law representing Solid Agency, has appealed to dancehall star Popcorn to retract his statements regarding the booking company's principal Sharon Burke in a reasonable time. Popcorn accused Burke of attempting to sabotage his performance at the Burna Boy concert at the National Stadium in Kingston over the weekend. However, Buchanan rubbished the allegations while demanding a retraction. At all material times, it is public knowledge that Sharon Burke and Solid Agency are not responsible for the sound engineering, nor were appealing to good sense that the legal advisor of Popcorn will allow him to retract in reasonable time the defamatory statements that were made, Buchanan told reporters. A release sent out by the organizer of the show, which includes Solid Agency, apologized for technical difficulties with the sound on the night of the event and for flaws in crowd control, particularly in the ultra-VIP area. Buchanan said that the magnitude of the show and the positive spin on Jamaica's standing in the international entertainment space with a successful staging of said event should not be overshadowed by miscommunication. We know that there were technical difficulties, but we cannot allow a situation where there is no clarity in the postmortem that distract the fact that Jamaica can host an international show at the magnitude and outdo our sister countries at a first world standard, he said. Buchanan said that Popcorn technical glitches aside provided magical moments during his performance, and the unruly boss should not allow that Bonona to sulk the memory of that event. His advisor should also advise him that as an international artist and a man of great status who delivered several magical moments on stage with reggae icon Barry Salmon and introduced a brilliant female artist Tony and Singh to the world, that he gave an exceptional, unruly performance full of energy and vigor, he said. Buchanan pointed to several positivities coming out of the event. By hosting the Burna Boy concert on the 18th, the event was a preview of the growth of the JCF, as it was a crime-free event. We not embarrassed on the world stage, and the patrons conducted themselves admirable. This was an opportunity to showcase our best selves and say, this is Jamaica, and it was great, he said. Buchanan said that cooler heads should prevail before litigation becomes the sole recourse. Where performance is concerned, this is an opportunity for all parties involved to recognize that they were part of something great and must maintain a sense of professionalism and never fall when these rise so hard, he said. However, the two parties may be heading towards a Mexican standoff, as Popcorn may be sticking to his guns. Ron Young, the attorney at law presenting Popcorn, said his client was understandably infuriated by the technical issues that he said shortchanged the Jamaican fans he loved to perform for all the highest level. Any issues relating to that will ventilate and resolve in due course, Young told reporters. Wanted man shot dead, firearms seized in Westmoreland. A man wanted by the Westmoreland police was shot dead, and the firearm was reportedly seized during a confrontation with cops in Betterton in the parish on Tuesday night. The deceased has been identified as O'Shawn Garden, otherwise called Hanover, from the community. Reports from the police are that about 8 p.m., a team of police officers conducted an intel-led operation in Galloway district in Betterton in search of Garden, who was wanted for the 2018 murder of Shavoy Turner. Information led the police to premises where it is believed that Golden was staying. It is alleged that when police approached the house, a man was seen walking from the right side of the building and started to act suspiciously when he saw the lawmen. The officers then shouted police, and it is alleged that the man immediately pulled a firearm from his waistband and opened gunfire. The lawmen reportedly, in fear for their lives, took evasive action and returned fire in the direction of the man. When the shooting subsided, the man was seen suffering from gunshot wounds to his upper body and clenching what was found to be a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 4 9mm rounds. The man was identified as Garden. Gord was subsequently transported to the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, no member of the police party was injured during the operation. St. James tour operator charged for a gun found in baby crib. A St. James tour operator has been slapped with firearm charges after an alleged weapon was found in a baby crib. 27-year-old Russian Tafari Swears, otherwise called Rasta, of Granville in the parish, was detained last week following the seizure of a handgun along with a magazine containing .40 rounds at a house in the community. He has been charged with possession of prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition. It was reported that around 10:38 p.m., a joint police-military team was on patrol when a house was searched and the weapon found on the clothing in a baby crib. Swears was taken into custody in connection with the find. Further investigation, he was subsequently charged. Man who killed JC student to serve reduced time before parole eligibility. The Court of Appeal yesterday morning reduced to 20 years the 31-year prison term that Hart was ordered to serve before being considered for parole. Mr. Hart was sentenced in 2019 for the stabbing death of 14-year-old Jamaica College student Nicholas Francis during an altercation on a bus on October 26, 2016. The killer had pleaded guilty to the crime and was sentenced to life in prison. The sentencing judge, Lorna Shell Williams, determined the number of years that Hart was to spend in prison before parole had started at 40 years, but ended up giving Hart 31 years after discounting the time for the guilty plea and time spent on remand. Hart subsequently appealed his sentence, claiming it was manifestly excessive. His lawyer, Patrick Peterkin, argued that the judge was not factored into his client's age 21 at the time of the sentence or his remorse and had not properly applied the sentencing principles, which resulted in the sentence being excessive. Acting Court of Appeal President Justice Marva McDonald Bishop, in handing down the sentence yesterday morning, said that the judge had failed to apply the right methodology and had also applied the wrong starting point for the offense. The judge said a pre-parole sentence in this case should have fallen between 15 to 25, and further that the 40-year range was generous and excessive. The court found that 23 years was a reasonable pre-parole sentence, but credited him for the 3 years he had already served in prison before his sentence. Justice McDonald Bishop pointed out that based on the Criminal Justice Administration Act, when a person pleads guilty and the sentence is life, it should start at 30 years. Therefore, he said the whole issue of starting point would not have applied to the sentence, and that the judge had applied the sentencing principles to determine the parole period instead of the life sentence period. But she added, having given him life, parole cannot exceed life, it must be a period before the sentence expires. Government prosecutors read evidence that on the day of the incident, Francis and Hart were seated beside each other on the minibus, which was heading towards halfway through St. Andrew, when the teenager blurted out, "Talk to him now?" It was later observed that Hart was holding onto Francis' wristwatch and the teen was trying to brush him off. A fist fight reportedly broke out, but the two were quickly separated by one of two conductors, who gave Francis a seat at the rear of the minibus. Prosecutors say that when the vehicle got to another bus stop, located meters from JC, Hart took Francis' knapsack and tossed it out the door. It was reported that another JC student, who was about to board the bus, picked up the bag. However, the prosecutors say Hart stopped him, asking, "How you so enough? For your bag?" When another passenger intervened and took up the bag, Hart again grabbed the knapsack and threw it to the ground. This triggered a second fist fight. Francis was stabbed on the hand and in the chest as the conductor tried to separate them. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and